there is this great gulf between philosophers who, like Aristotle and like so many others who in past have always said that human lives and practical problems, of course, matter so much to ethics, because why else, as Aristotle said, why else would you study ethics if not to try to work with some of these issues? He put it better, of course. But there have always been those philosophers. And then there have been many others, however, who have said that we can't deal with practical problems unless we solve some theoretical ones first. And there still are people saying that now. And so my argument is that there's this great gulf between the two. And my counter argument to the people who say, first we must solve all the theoretical problems is that then we're going to have to wait a very long time, and we don't have time to wait for all of that. So meanwhile, we are going to deal with practical problems. I was very lucky. I had started to think about questions of happiness, really, I think, in the late 1990s and in the early 2000s. I was very lucky to be able to bring together a group of people from psychiatry, from philosophy, from economics, and so many other disciplines. We had a little study group to bring together work and questions having to do with happiness. And that taught me so much. And a number of those individuals have since published their books on happiness. And I just feel I have learned so much from them. Also theology, by the way. And so that when I finally decided to write my own book, I was very glad to be able to draw on all the work that these different people had done, and very much also, indeed, on theology. There are certainly universals when it comes to happiness even in the poorest country. There are differences among human beings, etc. But I am fascinated by the research comparing countries and comparing societies, and it's clear that the smaller countries, and in particular countries that have good welfare systems for citizens. So it's often the Scandinavian countries, the Netherlands, and Switzerland. Those countries are often singled out, and I mean they are much higher levels, and that is of interest. And at the same time, within countries, for example, Canada. This doesn't necessarily have to do with people who are richest or poorest, but the parts of Canada where people have greater sense of neighborhood and neighborliness and people caring for one another are doing much better than some of the richer parts. I very much hope that they will take into consideration what is happening in the world right now, the growing inequality among rich and poor countries. The pandemic, unfortunately, has made that so much worse. The number of children who have, nothing to eat, families nothing to eat, but also the population issues. The fact that there are so many people now, partly because of the environment. And I should add, the combination of the environmental crisis and various medical crises and migration, all of those issues matter so much because it's not clear what people are going to do with population pressures, for instance, from Africa to Europe, from Latin America to our country, and how to best distribute what there is to be consumed, how to help people in so many new ways, so that young people, and I often hope that more young people will go into the caretaking professions also. Yes, I'll have to think, because I was, there is something, there's another quotation having to do with gratitude. And this is the book, Oliver Sacks' Gratitude. Oliver Sacks, who wrote in the New York Times when he was dying, this is a quotation actually that matters very much to me. He says, I cannot pretend I'm without fear. He has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. But my predominant feeling is one of gratitude. I have loved and been loved. I have been given much, and I have given something in return. I have read and traveled and thought and written. I've had an intercourse with the world, with a special intercourse of writers and readers. Above all, and this is what matters so much, I think, above all, I have been a sentient being, a thinking animal on this beautiful planet, and that in itself has been an enormous privilege and adventure.